Hi, this is the evaluation of the order trading system for January 28th, 2021. We had 8 trades tripped on that day, 6 were buys and 2 were short sells. The first trade is CREE, Cree Incorporated. It tripped at 12:46:06 p.m. at a price of $100.82. It was a buy trade. It closed the day at 104.74, up to 2.51%. It actually is down by a good amount this early morning, but because it closed above its tripping, that's a positive trade. And we'll take a look at the indicators. OBB is showing a good upward rise. MACD is showing a fairly steady upward rise. You can see afternoon it was coming down a bit, closing it was moving up. DI up in the afternoon, a bit of a negative drop there, which is what we're seeing on MACD. You see on DI also, but again, closing it was coming up. And Bollinger Band is showing basically a steady rise, so that's a positive start. Next trade is EMAN. That's Imagine Corporation. Tripped to 12:46:12 p.m. at a price of 242. It was a buy. It all closed at 247 and actually down to 244, so it's actually down 6.8%. It's actually down more. So this stock is showing that it's down from previous close from the day it traded and the day today, but it's still closed above its tripping price, so that is technically a buy trade. Excuse me. Check to see if the indicators are showing the same. Indicator 12:46, showing somewhat of a rise in the afternoon. MACD rise in the afternoon. You see that little bit of a downward activity in mid-afternoon. DI showing the same thing, up pretty much half and half on DI, positive and negative, but you see it was very strongly negative in the afternoon, and that recovered to make it the end of the day. And the Bollinger Band showing that it did make a recovery and the sideways movement in the afternoon on the bands. So that stock is moving positive for that day itself after it tripped. Next trade is GM. That is General Motors. It tripped at 1:38:01 p.m. The price of 51.54. It was a buy. It closed at 51.04. It was up 3.45%. You can see it's actually dropping in the early morning, down 1.92%. So let's just have a look see. Tripped at 1:30, 38. Roughly around there. 150. 150 to 158. I'm going to consider this a positive. There was a period of time. I used to say at 115. Sometimes I get 10 minutes that the stock is moving fairly strongly or okay. The stock is moving okay. You can see it's moving sideways, so it was maintaining its price. It's just it wasn't long enough for a period of time. Even though there was a period of time, not a very, very, very long period of time. It's half and half. It could be positive and it could be possible. And the fact that it actually is down early morning also gives you a little bit of a question mark if it's going to maintain that early morning if it did catch it on the trading day. But I'm still going to consider it possible because the fact the stock was moving fairly consistently price-wise. We'll check to see the indicators. OBB came up, OBB showing though it's coming down. MACD showing saying came up and then came down, but you see the afternoon it looks like it's moving sideways. DI actually moving heavily negative at the end of the day. Bollinger Band showing a negative movement. I'm going to still keep it as a possible just because the price itself was maintaining itself. It is down a bit early morning, but That could be just manipulation going on. I'm going to keep it as a possible just because of the price activity itself. It's pretty much consistent all day long. You had a spike here in the early morning, but it was moving positive pretty much all day. Next trade is HEXO, and that is Hexo Corporation. It tripped up at 1:40:15 p.m. at a price of 6.52. It was a buy. It closed the day at 6.52. It was up 0.62%. You can see it's actually down 6.31, so down a good amount early morning. Could be manipulation, but you never know what's going on. Manipulation happens quite a bit, obviously, in the markets. Let's see if there's any 140. It came up and it dropped. If it wasn't for that heavy negative every morning, I would say that this is possible too, but it's hard to say. Hard to say. OBV bouncing back and forth. MACD bouncing back and forth. DI bouncing back and forth. And Bollinger Band bouncing back. There's no strong indication that this positive movement is going to maintain itself, even though price-wise, it's maintaining it. Just indicators are not giving a strong pointing of that. If the Bollinger Band was moving sideways and we had some sort of consistent movement positive on the indicators above it, I would say okay. But all the indicators are basically showing a not clear indication of positive or negative. It's not showing one way or the other, but again, because it's not showing positive, it's more stronger than negative. I'm going to say that this is a negative just because of that. I don't feel confident myself to say that you can make money the day after. And again, as you can see, it down by a good portion early morning. That's down more early morning than it closed at the raise. Even though you can see early morning here when it was up to 679, it probably would have been up like 7-8% positive. But I can't rely on the aspect that there was a point in time during the day that as it closed not that much above. Next trade is GEVO, and that is Gevo Incorporated. They tripped at 1:55:07 p.m. at a price of 11.65. This was also a buy trade. It closed the day at 11.09, down 5.46%, and down early morning 6.67%. So this doesn't look like a good stock at all to be a buy trade, but the system indicated it was a buy trade. So let's see. 55, so tripped right around here. Yeah, and there's no. I caught it on this peak here, but it didn't maintain it. So let's see. It was moving somewhat sideways in the afternoon, but I don't know. OBV showing somewhat positive. MACD positive, what a trip, but then came down. DI positive, and came down negative. And Bollinger Band, something moving side. If it wasn't for pre-market showing this heavy negative, I would say potentially, but no, I can't say that this is a positive item. So to me, that's a negative. Next trade is IRM. That's Iron Mountain Incorporated. It tripped at 2:45 p.m. at a price of 33.46. It was a short sell. It closed the day at 33.41, so that's a positive just because it closed below the tripping price. Check to see if the indicators are showing downwards activity. 14.45. OBV, no, it's showing the afternoon it was down. MACD shows that it jumped up in the mid-afternoon and then came down mid-late afternoon. DI, somewhat same thing. So we happen to catch it coming down the Bollinger Band, somewhat moving sideways. It jumped up in the mid-afternoon and came down again. So it just happened to be that we caught it coming down. In the day, she could have gotten a positive because it closed below its trigger price. Next trade is KR. That's the Kroger Company. Tripped at 3:05 p.m. at a price of 35.80. It was a buy. It closed at 35.38, down 8.7%, so that down quite a bit. Let's see, it tripped at 3:05. 3:05, so trip around here. 35.80. Yeah, it went down. It was moving sideways, but it didn't come up too much after it tripped. OBB caught it when it rise, but then came down in the afternoon. MACD up and then down. DI showing strong positive movement, but then come down in the day and Bollinger Band coming down. This is a hard one. The price wise is showing pretty much steady movement. Bollinger Band showing somewhat sideways movement after its peak. DI was very strongly positive during its rise, which is good, but then you see in the day it was moving negative and then closed negative and stuff like that. And the stock is down quite a bit. I don't feel comfortable saying that that's a positive. So I'm going to say it's a negative just because I don't see the potential opportunity there. Next trade is EOG. That's EOG Resources Incorporated. It took to 3:12 p.m. at a price of 53.92. That was a short sell, and it closed the day at 53.72. So that's a positive trade. And the indicators, I'm going to assume are going to show somewhat of a negative movement. Yeah, OBB is just showing it came down, pretty much stayed steady. OBB looks like a sideways activity. MACD down early afternoon, came up mid-afternoon, but came down late afternoon, showing a bit of recovery in the day. DI showing very much negative, or the DI showing negative. So this stock was moving negative. So at the end of the day, we have 4 out of 8 stocks which were positive. That's only 50%. If we include the possible, that's 6 out of 8. Sorry. 75% possible, 50% 50% positive. Not a great day. Some of those negatives were question marks, but I didn't want to take too many chances of saying that they were negative strongly. They were a couple of very questionable negatives, but just not strong enough to push it into the possible side. So not a great day, but I think that with possible trust stocks is actually better. Possible brings up to 75%, which is not bad. But overall, the absolute positive outcome is only 50%. So it just happens to be one of those days. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching.